it's Linda. Welcome back to my channel. I am not sure how I'm feeling about this hair situation. I don't know if I'm a headband wearing bitch, you know what I mean? I just don't wear them. Like, the reason that you see me with my hair down in most videos is because if I wear my hair up, it hurts my head. So not only am I wearing my hair up, but then I'm wearing this semi-torture device that just squeezes your head repeatedly. But we gotta try something new sometimes, am I right? Do I have lipstick on my teeth? Yeah, I have a lot. So hello everyone, this video is going to be a Will I Buy It? This series was started by Samantha March here on YouTube, and it's not really an anti-haul or anything like that, although a lot of mine basically wind up being anti-hauls, but I'm just going to go over a bunch of new products that either have been released recently or ones that are going to be released in the very near future and let you know whether or not it's going on my wish list. But you guys know what has to happen next. We're gonna light the cat candle, and this candle, I only light it while I'm filming. There is a cat skeleton inside, which we are starting to see a little bit. You can see its little teeth, and I only light this while I'm filming so that we can all see the magic together, and hopefully this guy will start to burn a little bit faster, and the cat's on fire. We can officially start. The cat might look a little more melted than it did the last time you saw it, and that's because I have filmed 2 other videos besides this one and scrapped them both. How are you all doing during the pandemic? I'm not doing great. I know I shouldn't complain. I'm actually doing fine. I'm safe at home, which is fantastic. I'm very lucky in that way. I'm lucky that I can work from home, and I'm happy to have that ability. I'm quarantined with my husband and my cat, the 2 that I'd most like to be quarantined with. But I'm not gonna lie, today's been a rough day. Why? No reason. It just has been a rough day. I tried to take a nap even, and I couldn't even do that. So just one of those days, but let's get away those bad vibes and talk about some, retail therapy. I'm gonna scooch over there so we can take a look at some products. The first product I want to talk about is kind of interesting to me because I know that in January I posted the video of 5 brands I did want to try and 5 brands I wasn't really interested in trying in 2020, and Viseart was one of those brands. I admit that nothing they've really come out with has really wowed me. It looks nice. I'm sure the quality is absolutely beautiful. That's what I hear from everyone. And then they came out with this palette, which is called the Spritz. I believe this might actually be coming out this week as you're watching this, but there are 12 colors in this palette and it retails for $39. We have 5 matte shades, 6 shimmers, and 1 metallic, and I have to admit, this is the first Viseart palette I've ever looked at that has me like wondering, is it something I need? At the end of the day, I'm sure I could probably dupe a lot of these colors, but the color story itself really is beautiful. It has a whole lot of those kind of warm red pink tones, but it also has some bold shimmers in there that I really think could play off of each other nicely. I do think that the price is very fair, and I think it looks absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to watch every single video from every single YouTuber that buys this palette. But am I going to buy it? Probably not, no. Again, it's absolutely lovely, stunning, smashing, glorious, but I just don't see a need for it in my collection. Next, I want to talk about the Kosas Baked Bronzer. Now, I don't own anything from Kosas, or is it Kosas? Kosas. I don't own anything from this brand. I have heard great things about their lip balm, for example, and they seem fantastic. I don't know much about them, I'll be honest, but I have to admit, these bronzers intrigued me. Now, there is not a great color range at all, but I really do like the kind of subtle shimmer in this. It does not look like glitter. It looks like it sort of just makes your skin look like it's glowing from within, but it does give you that nice bronze. It doesn't look too warm or too orange, so I think that this could be a really cool product. It is baked with shea butter, which can be very moisturizing, so I'm curious about the consistency of it as well. Baked products can sometimes just crumble by you looking at them, so maybe if it has shea butter, it can hold itself together a little bit better, be a little more sustainable and not as breakable, which would be nice, and it does have that beautiful radiance in it. This retails for $34, and again, will I buy it? I feel like it's gonna have to be something I test in store, which is gonna be difficult. My Sephora does have it in store usually, but who knows when Sephora stores are gonna open again. Is this such a need that I need to run out and buy it right this second? No, not at all. But I am really curious, and I would like to swatch it and play with it a little bit. I am really getting into bronzers right now, and I love, love, love my River bronzer currently from Ofra, but I don't know, I'm actually building up my bronzer collection, which is something I never thought I'd say. From Charlotte Tilbury, we have the Magic Serum Crystal Elixir. This is a face serum. So this is, forgive me for reading my notes, a hydrating serum with vitamin C and polyglutamic acid, which is a supercharged ingredient that's over 4 times more hydrating than hyaluronic acid. That seems like a bold claim. Hyaluronic acid is sort of the known ingredient for holding moisture in the skin. It draws It draws moisture from the air and pulls it into your skin and holds it there very well. So this polyglutamic acid, it just sounds like something that's made up. It's not, but it sounds like it is. Now, here's the kicker. This little beauty retails for $80. For that price, I had better use one drop, and I'm telling you one drop, and it better cover my entire face. And when I cover my entire face, I immediately look like 1980s Julia Roberts, current day Chrissy Teigen. Basically, I'm a frickin' Kardashian if I put this $80 stuff on my face, right? Is that how that works? Because $80. Now, I know that a lot of good skincare ain't cheap, but $80 for a little baby bottle? I will likely not be purchasing this. Now, this is something that has already come out and a lot of people were super happy with this. This is the ColourPop Mulan collection. I'm actually kind of surprised that they put this out knowing that the movie has been postponed. I would say indefinitely, but I think they just don't have a date for it yet. But here's what I have to say about this palette. First of all, it's $22 for 15 shades, which is about on par with ColourPop pricing, and I do feel that's a very fair price, especially considering the ColourPop formula is amazing and great quality. There's a mix of matte, shimmers, and foiled shades, and there's none of that pressed glitter that a lot of people hate. And I do feel like the color scheme really matches Mulan. It's got some of those bold, deep reds, but it's got gold. It's got very regal colors, if you will, but it still does nothing for me. I've seen people test it out. I watched Shay's video, that girl Shay XO, and it looked beautiful on her, and I've seen other people post looks with it, and it's lovely. Maybe it's just really not my thing. I don't know, but oh no, I'm not going to buy that. What's funny is I just looked on my table and I have this thing sitting here from my mom when she went over to Asia fairly recently, and I'm like, that's kind of the color palette of the Mulan palette. Okay, I'm not trying to be too shady here, but let's talk about this new, I don't know if it's a collection or if they just released several products at once, but let's talk about this new stuff from the Balm. The Balm was one of the first makeup products that I remember really lusting after, and that was the Mary Luminizer, and it was so revolutionary and so unique and so beautiful. I still have it in my collection. I still use it. I still think it's an amazing highlighter. But when I look at this collection, so you have an eyeshadow palette called The Balm and the Beautiful. You have a blush quad called Will Powder, 2 new blushes, and a tinted moisturizer. And I don't know about you, but this makes me want to fall the hell asleep. It is so boring and so muted looking, and I feel badly saying that, but I wouldn't even suggest this for somebody who is only into neutrals. If you're only into neutrals, go for an Urban Decay Naked palette. Like, go for something where you're really gonna get your money's worth. It just looks so neutral. If I see a product shot, okay, that's supposed to be the best that you want your product to look, right? You've got these perfect photographers and this perfect lighting and this perfect world, and they look dusty as hell. Don't they look dusty? I'm not trying to be negative Nancy over here, but look at it. Just, no. Next, we have a palette from Stila, and it is called the Road Less Traveled palette. It is $39, which seems to be like the average price for a lot of palettes nowadays. What is $39? That's like a super specific amount, but I digress. Now, the difference is that there's only 8 shades in this palette, so that's like almost $5 a shade, which is a lot. And it's a mix of mattes and shimmers, but it's mostly shimmers, but all bright colors. So it's almost sort of a rainbow palette. I think it is absolutely beautiful, and I have to admit, it's one of the first Stila palettes I've seen in a long time that caught my attention. I do think it's really beautiful, and I can't wait, again, to see some of the looks that people do with this, but I am definitely going to pass on this myself because I feel like not only can I dupe a lot of these colors with what's already in my collection, but at the same time, this is not a standalone palette for me. I don't feel like there's a whole lot of looks that can be done using just this palette. And yes, when I do my makeup, I do usually choose from different palettes, but when I purchase a palette, I want to be able to do a full look using just that palette. And yes, you could do that. No, I'm not buying this one either. It's beautiful again, and this could be something that maybe if I swatch it in store, I'm gonna walk out with it, but I just don't feel like it's all there. You know what I mean? It's just missing something. Let's get into this fuckery. Innisfree is a brand that I only discovered over the past few years. They have a green tea serum that is absolutely beautiful, and they were at both of the Gen Beauty events, and I loved their products. They just were very kind of broken down. They didn't have a whole lot of ingredients in them. They just felt more natural, and they felt kind of holistic, if that makes sense. And then they decided that they were going to come out with a collaboration with Mentos. Mentos, you know, the fresh maker? Yeah, Mentos, what? They came out with 6 no sebum mineral powders for your face, and they come in 6 different flavors. You have grape, lemon, melon, mint, peach, and cherry. Look, why is this a collaboration that needed to happen? Just why? Why did it need to happen? I don't understand. Like, the product could be amazing, but it looks so childish that I have no interest. I have no interest. Now, these are cheap as hell, so if you like the packaging, they're only $10 each. You do you. If you want your face to smell like a melon, this could be the thing for you. If you would like someone to look at your face and say, now that's the fresh maker, this might be for you. I, for one, am gonna pass on this. Next, this one might be a little, I don't know if I would say controversial, but it is the Natasha Denona Mini Retro Palette. I have seen so many beautiful looks done with this one already. Like Mel Thompson, who has my heart right there. Just these shades are so beautiful on so many people, but I look at it and I can't get into it. It's just such a cool toned palette, and if you're into cool toned colors, then you probably look at this and your heart is going a flutter. But for me, I don't see anything in it that I would enjoy. The shimmers are beautiful. I know that the quality of Natasha Denona is absolutely amazing, and with these palettes you get 5 shadows for $25, which is a really good deal considering that Natasha Denona shadows are not cheap. I just know personally that if this was in my collection, it would go completely untouched. But that being said, I want to see every single look that you all do with this palette, because I've seen some sexy things so far. So with that whole list, I think I found one thing, that Kosas bronzer, that I might possibly think about getting, but the rest of it, nah, anti-haul, nope. So I figured to keep things a little bit on the up and up, a little bit on the positive, I'm going to tell you what's currently in my Ulta and Sephora carts as we speak, because as soon as a big sale hits, and I'm not talking some crappy ass VIB 15% off sale Sephora, but I'm going to buy some stuff. I'm going to treat myself. I haven't shopped for anything in a very long time, and I know that I shouldn't be shopping right now, and to be honest, I haven't been. But I do want to treat myself if a sale pops up. From Ulta, there is the Ofra Cosmetics Bossy Eyes Liquid Eyeshadow. This really looks beautiful in swatches that I've seen. It's very, very, very metallic and wet looking. So these remind me a bit of the Stila, the Glimmering Glow, the Shimmering Glow, all of those shadows, because it is a wet shadow that does dry down to become matte, not matte, excuse me, but immovable. It stays there. Plus, these retail for $15 a pop, which I don't think is a bad deal because liquid shadows go a very long way. Now, I haven't tried these yet at all. I don't know if the quality is amazing, but I feel like I want to give it a shot. Next, there's a few products from ColourPop. So I already use the Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer almost every single day. So I figured I would like to try the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Creamy Concealer and the Hyaluronic Acid Face Spray. I saw someone using the face spray and it looks like the mist is so fine and beautiful, and I heard it's very hydrating. Same with the concealer. It's supposed to be nice and creamy goodness, and it doesn't settle too badly into fine lines and wrinkles, and I am in the market for new concealers right now since my favorite was recently discontinued. So if you have a recommendation, please leave it down below because I need some recommendations. I actually have another concealer in my cart at Ulta, and that is the First Aid Beauty Hello Fab Bendy Avocado Concealer. Holy crap, that's a long name. I've had this in my cart forever. Ever since Sam Ravindell started talking about it, like way back in the day, I slapped it in my cart and I've just never pulled the trigger on it because it's, how much is it? $22, which I guess that's not too bad, but it's, you know, with the Urban Decay concealer that I loved, I would always find it on sale for half off and then I would stock up. So I guess I just kind of forgot that it's a pretty expensive concealer. But I do want to try that one. I heard some really great things about it. Another thing that I keep putting into my cart and taking out and putting in and taking out is the Urban Decay Naked Honey palette. I have been eyeing this one for a while and I was convinced that I didn't need it, but recently I did a video of my top 10 favorite palettes of all time, and I talked about how I looked at the Urban Decay Naked Honey palette and I keep passing it up, and I asked you all, is it something I need in my collection? Holy shit, the number of comments you guys left where you said, yes, you need this, was overwhelming. So that might be one that I give into peer pressure about. God, you guys, you're bullies, basically. I have 3 items in my cart for Sephora. The first one is the, oh, I don't want to butcher this name, Ulla Henriksen. It is the Glow 2.0 Dark Spot Toner. It retails for $29. I am in the market for a new toner as well. I actually have none right now, and it's driving me a little bit crazy because it's something I got very used to having in my skincare routine, but it is really supposed to be wonderful for kind of calming down dark spots and melasma on your face. I do have some spots here and also right around my eye over here that I would really like, if it's possible to tone those down a little bit, would be great, and I heard that this is a fantastic product. Another thing that I have in my cart, I keep kind of taking it out of my cart and putting it back in, and it's mainly because of the price, is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder, and it is $45 for a pressed powder. I did get to try this when I was hanging out with my friend Sarah from Better Off Red, and I really liked it a lot. So I know I would love this, but every single time I go to check out with that in my cart, I'm like, if I just took that one thing out, oh, look how nice the price dropped. Wow. So I think maybe during that VIB 15% off crap, I'll try it, but 15% off, that's just not enough. I'm not gonna get into it. And the last thing that I'm thinking of trying is the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint SPF 40 Foundation. Now this comes in 18 shades, and it is I believe it's like a dropper foundation. This is supposed to be a light coverage, sheer to light coverage, I believe, and I've seen so many people use it, and it just looks really lovely and very natural on the skin. It is cruelty-free, it is vegan, it is gluten-free. Here's why I'm unsure about it. First of all, the idea of buying a foundation online sight unseen and not able to test it with a swatch or anything like that is terrifying to me. But second of all, the price. Okay, the price. That little baby bottle, little bitty bottle is $46. That is expensive. Now, if you need maybe 1 drop on each cheek and it gives you the kind of nice dewy coverage that you want, okay, maybe it could be worth it. But I have a feeling that this is gonna have to be one that you build up a little bit. So $46 for that little tiny baby bottle. If you have used this foundation, please let me know down below, because I want to hear some more reviews, and I do trust you guys, you know, for the most part, unless you tell me I'm an asshole, and then, I mean, you're probably right. Very last thing I want to talk about, I have made one purchase recently, and the other day Milk Makeup was doing a sort of sale, or a promotion rather, where 100% of the proceeds were going to frontline responders in New York City. So I really felt like that was a good time to bite the bullet and buy this, because I've been sitting on it forever, and that is the Milk Vegan Milk Moisturizer. It's supposed to be so wonderful. I've heard such great things about it, and I have been looking for a new face moisturizer as well. So I'm really excited to try this. And one thing also that made me really happy is the next day Milk sent out an email to everybody on their email list saying that in that one day, they raised over $106,000 for frontline responders. And there's a lot of times where, I mean, I know I feel silly saying like, oh, well, I did my part because I bought some makeup, but you feel like you can't do anything right now. You know what I mean? You feel helpless and you feel a little bit hopeless at times. So even the fact that I contributed, like, I think it was $34 when all was said and done, because I had a coupon code and things like that, you know, it made me feel good. It was a feel-good purchase, and it was one I was sort of planning on making anyway, so that made me happy. Whew, that is it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, tell me down below, what products are you lusting after right now? Maybe they haven't even come out yet. I don't know why I'm doing like Alexis Rose hands right now. I'm just like, tell me what you want to buy. Ew, David. But most importantly, I hope you are all doing well. I hope that you're being safe inside, and I hope that you're just doing okay mentally. This is a really hard time on everyone, myself very much included. So I just want you all to be safe and happy and healthy. And I hope that videos like this can maybe be a little bit of an escape for you and, you know, just take your mind off of all the crap that's going on in the world. I know there's so much good out there, and I keep trying to kind of look for the good while keeping myself informed, obviously, about the bad. But look for the good. Look for the helpers. Be a helper if you can be. If you can afford to be, please donate to food banks, things of that sort, and just do what you can, but just keep yourself safe. Keep yourself happy as you can. Do what you need to do. Reach out to people and just be safe. That's it. You all can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Those are all GlitterFallout. I do put out new videos for you on YouTube every Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so I would love if you'd hit that subscribe button and become a part of my Rockstar fam. But as always, forever, today, tomorrow, the next day, and like the one after that as well, you all are super freaking rock stars, and I love you with my whole heart, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.